What your ex won't tell you about their rebound. But you need to know. So, your ex moved on fast. Like, uncomfortably fast. 1 minute you're trying to process the breakup, and the next, they're suddenly in a new relationship, smiling like nothing ever happened. But here's what they're not telling you. That rebound? It's not what it seems. In this video, we're diving into the real reasons your ex jumped into something new. The psychology, the hidden truths, and what it actually means for you. Because while they might look like they've moved on, there's a lot more going on under the surface. This is what your ex won't tell you about their rebound. But you need to know. So, why do people rebound so quickly after a breakup? Let's be honest. When your ex jumps into a new relationship right away, it feels like they never cared. But the truth? It's often the opposite. Let's break it down. First, they're escaping pain. Breakups hurt, for both people. Even if your ex was the one who ended it, they're still dealing with grief, loneliness, and emotional withdrawal. And instead of processing those feelings, they do what a lot of people do. They run into the arms of someone new. Not because it's love, but because it's distraction. Imagine them alone on a Friday night, scrolling through old photos, heart pounding from regret. That silence? Too loud. So they call someone, anyone, to fill the void. Second, they need validation. After a breakup, even the most confident person wonders, was I the problem? Am I even lovable anymore? So they jump into something new to feel wanted again, because having someone else desire them, even if it's superficial, makes them feel like they're still worth something. You can actually flip this script for your audience. If your ex needed a rebound to feel valuable, imagine how powerful it makes you that your presence alone made them question their worth. Third, it's about physical comfort. Let's not sugarcoat it. Sometimes rebounds are about sex. Your ex misses the routine, the intimacy, the late-night cuddles. So instead of healing, they go out and find someone new to simulate that comfort. But here's the kicker. It's usually chemistry over compatibility. And that's why these relationships tend to fade fast. Rebounds are like the first pancake in the pan. It's rushed, it's uneven. And most of the time, it gets tossed out. Fourth, they're trying to win the breakup. Yep, this is petty, but it's real. Your ex might post cute photos, force smiles, even say things like, "I've never been happier." But deep down, it's not about the new person. It's about you. They want you to see them. They want you to think they've upgraded. But when you don't react, that fake confidence crumbles. Social media is a stage, and your ex might be performing for an audience of one you. Fifth, they're forcing themselves to move on. We've all heard the phrase, the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else. It sounds clever, but it's usually just avoidance disguised as progress. Your ex might believe they're moving on, but emotionally, they're still stuck in the past. They're using the rebound as a form of emotional self-medication, like trying to outrun grief by sprinting into something new. Just because they're with someone doesn't mean they're over you. It just means they didn't want to face the silence. Sixth, they were lining it up before the breakup. This one hurts, but sometimes it's true. That rebound relationship, it might not have started after you ended. It may have been warming up in the background, emotionally or even physically, while they were still with you. It doesn't justify anything, but it explains the speed. The rebound wasn't a reaction. It was a continuation of something that already started while you were still together. If this was the case, it says more about their character than your worth. Don't own their betrayal. Own your growth. Finally, the rare case, they were emotionally checked out long before the breakup. Some people detach slowly, quietly, long before things end. They grieve during the relationship, not after. So when the breakup comes, they're already numb, already done. It's rare, but possible. Still, remember this. If they were checked out that long, that's not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their lack of honesty with you and with themselves. So if you're asking, why did they move on so fast? The better question might be, what are they running from? Because love, real love, doesn't get replaced in a week. But fear, pain, insecurity, those will grab anything that feels warm, even if it won't last. You've seen it. Your ex moves on faster than you can even unfollow them. And suddenly, it's selfies, new BAE posts, and fake fairy tale energy everywhere. But how do you know if it's just a rebound? Let's break down the most common and revealing signs that their new relationship is not what it seems. Sign number 1, they moved on shockingly fast. You broke up on a Sunday, and by next weekend they're cuffed? Let's be real. You don't fall in love that fast. You fall into avoidance, into comfort, into something, anything, to distract from the silence. Rebound relationships almost always start at warp speed because they're trying to outrun pain, not build something meaningful. If you saw a friend start dating someone 1 week after their breakup, would you trust that relationship? Then why would your ex be the exception? Sign number 2, their social media looks like a love commercial. If your ex is suddenly posting nonstop photos, videos, and in love captions with someone they just met, that's not connection, that's performance. Rebounds often come with overcompensation, loud, curated, excessive public displays of happiness. And it's usually aimed at one person, you. The louder they shout it, the more likely it's a script, not a story. Real relationships don't need to convince the internet. But fake ones? They need an audience. Sign number 3, they're still bringing you up. Maybe you hear from mutual friends that they mention you, or they text you just to check in. Or worse, they start comparing their new partner to you. If your name is still in their mouth, even in subtle ways, they're not over you. They're still mentally living in the past, trying to make sense of the present by holding it up next to you. She's more fun than you were. He doesn't understand me like you did. If they were truly present in their new relationship, they wouldn't need to reference you at all. Sign number 4, the new partner is your complete opposite. Ever noticed that your ex suddenly started dating someone who's nothing like you? You were calm, they're chaotic, you were thoughtful. They're all impulse. That's called a rebound swing. It's less about attraction and more about rejection. They're not picking who they're drawn to. They're reacting to what they're running from. It's rebellion. A breakup tantrum dressed up like romance. It's not about who they're with now. It's about who they're trying not to remember. Sign number 5, they're still contacting you. This one's obvious and messy. If they're dating someone new, but still calling, texting, or liking your stories, something's not adding up. Maybe they drunk text you, or check in under the excuse of closure, or they still haven't picked up their stuff, or given yours back. That's not clean separation. That's emotional spillover. They're physically with someone new, but part of them is still emotionally with you. Sign number 6, the relationship is vague or oddly casual. They're seeing someone, but don't define it. They're together, but they haven't met each other's families. They say they're in a relationship, but it's mostly Instagram and late-night hangouts. That's what you call low-commitment mode. Rebounds often exist in a weird gray zone. Not casual, not serious, just there. Because neither person is truly all in. The vibe? Temporary. Like they're buying time, not building a bond. Sign number 7, it moved way too fast, and it's already showing cracks. The relationship escalated quickly, too quickly. Matched on an app, slept together, moved in. I love you in 2 weeks? That's infatuation, not intimacy. Rebounds often hit the gas early on, but what starts fast usually crashes faster. If you hear they're already fighting, pulling back, or hitting awkward tension early on, you're witnessing the burnout phase. Let's say your ex started dating someone new a few weeks after your breakup. They flooded Instagram with couple content. They said they were finally happy. But 3 months later, radio silence. No more photos, no tags. They're back to posting cryptic quotes about healing and knowing your worth. That's the classic rebound pattern. Fast in, fast out. Loud at first, silent in the end. Just because your ex is in a relationship doesn't mean they've moved on. It might just mean they're trying not to feel something. So when you spot the signs, don't panic. You're not being replaced. You're being temporarily avoided. And that's not power. That's fear. Your ex might seem happy. They might act like they've moved on. But trust me, there are things they won't say out loud. Pride, guilt, denial. Whatever the reason, they keep it to themselves. But that doesn't mean the truth isn't there. Let's talk about what your ex is likely thinking, but will never admit to you. I'm hurting more than I show. They look fine, maybe even happier. But behind the social media smiles and fake confidence, they're numbing. Because facing the pain of the breakup, the grief, the regret, the loneliness, is terrifying. And that rebound? It's not a celebration. It's a shield. They didn't move on. They just moved away from their feelings. This new relationship is an emotional band-aid. They won't say it, but the new person isn't some magical soulmate. They're comfort food. They're a placeholder. They're easy access to dopamine. It feels good right now, like pain relief. But it's surface level. There's no depth, no foundation. They make me forget the breakup, at least for a while. That's the unspoken truth. It's like taking painkillers for a broken leg. It might numb the pain, but the injury's still there. My self-esteem needed a boost. Breakups don't just hurt, they shatter your sense of worth. Even if they ended it, even if they acted confident, inside they wondered, did I mess up? Was I good enough? Will anyone love me again? So when someone new comes along and gives them attention, affection, even just validation, they cling to it because it quiets those doubts, even temporarily. They didn't choose better. They chose easier, someone who didn't remind them of their own insecurities. I rushed because losing you scared me. This one's hard to swallow, but real. The speed of their rebound isn't proof they didn't care. It's often the opposite. The faster they rebounded, the more affected they probably were by the breakup. They didn't want to sit in that silence, didn't want to miss you, didn't want to regret anything. So they sprinted away, hoping someone else could muffle that emotional noise. They replaced the fear of losing you with the illusion of being wanted. I compare them to you more than I want to. They'll never say it out loud, not to you, maybe not even to their friends. But the comparisons, they happen. You used to laugh at my jokes. They don't. You got my weird side. They don't. You challenged me. They just agree with everything. It's subtle, but it builds. And eventually it creates friction. Because now they notice what's missing. If they're still following you, watching your stories, or quietly checking your life, that's not closure. That's comparison. I'm not as sure about this as I seem. Every rebound starts with a high, but even early on, doubt creeps in. They feel it in quiet moments, the differences, the awkward silences, the lack of emotional safety. But they'll act confident, because admitting it, to you or even themselves, would mean they made a mistake. So instead of facing the truth, they double down. It's different this time. It just feels right. I'm finally happy. But inside they wonder, am I really? I feel guilty, but I won't face it. If they hurt you, especially by moving on fast, they probably do feel bad. But instead of owning it, they try to justify it. We were already done. I didn't cheat, so it's fine. They'll be okay. That guilt doesn't just disappear. It lurks. Especially if you were kind, loving, or undeserving of how things ended. And it makes them pull away even more. Because facing you would mean facing their own choices. I'm just trying to feel happy, even if it's fake. At the end of the day, people chase comfort. Your ex? They're not choosing better, they're choosing relief. The rebound feels good in the moment, like dessert after heartbreak. But deep down they know it's not sustainable. It's not that they don't want happiness. It's that they're settling for the fastest version of it. And guess what? If the only way they can feel okay is with someone new, then they were never okay to begin with. Your ex won't text you and admit any of this. They won't post about it. They might not even let themselves believe it. But that doesn't make it less true. Behind the rebound, behind the show, there's usually silence, doubt, and grief. They didn't replace you. They're just trying to forget you and failing. So now you know your ex's rebound isn't perfect. It's not a fairy tale. It's not proof you were the problem. But knowing the truth isn't enough. Not if you're still checking their page, still wondering if they'll come back, or still letting their choices affect your peace. Here's what you need to do now to take your power back. Step 1, don't panic. Gain perspective. Right now it might feel like they won. They're happy. You're heartbroken. They've moved on. You're stuck. But slow down, because here's what's likely happening. They're distracting, not healing. They're running, not resolving. The first person they date after you isn't a reward. It's a reaction. Their relationship might feel real now, but rebounds are built on shaky foundations, and most don't last past the 3-month mark. So repeat this to yourself. This is temporary, and even if it's not, I'm still okay. That mindset is freedom. Step 2, go no contact. I get it. It's tempting. You want to text, you want to check, you want answers. But every time you reach out, you reset your healing clock. Every time you respond, you give away energy they didn't earn. So stop feeding the loop. Stop responding to breadcrumbs. Stop checking who liked their photo. Go silent. Disappear with dignity. They can't miss you if you're still in their face. But when you go silent, you become a presence they feel even more. No contact is not punishment, it's protection for your peace, your self-respect, your future. Step 3, do not act out of jealousy. This is where most people mess up. They post thirst traps, they throw shade, they try to make their ex jealous. It feels good for 5 minutes, and then it eats at you. Here's the truth. When you react from insecurity, you give them the upper hand. You make it look like you care more than you actually do. So don't lash out, don't subtweet, don't try to win the breakup, play the long game. Real power is walking away quietly and letting your glow up do the talking. Step 4, cut the digital leash. Social media is a trap. It shows you the best moments. Not the fights, not the emptiness, not the awkward silence in the car. So mute them, block them, unfollow if you need to. You're not weak for doing it, you're strong for choosing peace. And stop asking mutual friends for updates. Every "did you hear" is a trigger waiting to happen. Out of sight doesn't erase your pain, but it stops you from picking the wound over and over again. Step 5. Focus on yourself. For real this time. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about making them regret. This is about you, and the fact that you are still here. You are still whole, still worthy, still capable of becoming something even stronger. So go to the gym, book that trip, start that business, redesign your room, cut your hair, read more books. Do whatever reminds you that you are not defined by who left. You are defined by what you choose next. They found someone fast. You found yourself. That's the real win. Step 6. Be prepared. They might come back. It happens more often than you think. The rebound fades, the illusion breaks, and they remember what they had with you. But listen closely. Just because they come back doesn't mean you let them in. Ask yourself, do they miss you, or just the comfort you gave them? Are they healed, or just lonely again? You're allowed to forgive. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to have boundaries. Just don't let nostalgia blind you to reality. If they left you to chase comfort, make sure they have to earn their way back to your peace. Step 7. Surround yourself with your people. Don't go through this alone. Talk to someone, a friend, a coach, a therapist, anyone who reminds you of who you are. There's no prize for pretending you're okay when you're not. You're human. Let yourself feel. Cry if you need to. Get mad. Get quiet. Get better. Step 8. Don't get your own rebound unless you're truly ready. It's tempting to show them by dating someone new, but don't use someone else as a mirror to bounce back your pain. Date when you're whole. Date when you want, not when you need. Rebounds are noise, but healing, that's music. And the right person, one day, will hear your full song. Step 9. Trust the timing. Right now it might feel slow, painful, unfair, but every day you don't reach out, every moment you choose yourself, you're building something unshakable inside. The version of you that will look back and say, damn, I really made it through that. And when that day comes, you'll be grateful for every moment you thought you wouldn't survive, but did. You can't control what they do, but you can control what you do next. So walk forward with grace, with power, with your head up, and your energy intact. Because the comeback, that's always stronger than the heartbreak. So let's bring it all home. If your ex jumped into something new right after your breakup, it's not because they replaced you. It's because they're avoiding something. And chances are, it's themselves. Rebounds might look exciting on the surface, but underneath, they're often fragile, rushed, and filled with doubt. You don't need to chase, compete, or prove your worth, because this isn't about them. It's about you, healing, growing, leveling up. So let them pretend they've moved on. You're actually doing it, the real way. And that's power. Subscribe to the channel and like this video, and let's figure out this crazy thing called love together.